Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm back with something special because we've got a pair of AirTechs in the building. So today I'm going to be talking about the AirTech Challenge 2 in the Pixel colorway. It is one of the OG colorways and it's a pair I've been waiting to release. I've just been enjoying so much the way that they have released these AirTech Challenge 2s since the Hot Lavas, and this is the fourth pair to release from that OG pack so far. So I'm going to go over the size, the fit, the cost, all the good stuff, and explain why they're a pair that you might want to pick up if it's something you're considering. So if you're new to the channel, I do all different types of trainers, from Diodoras to Reeboks, all different brands, New Balance, every different brand really. And my last pickup that I did was this review on this SB Nike 95 cactus flower. So if you haven't checked that out, please do. It's on my channel. If you like my content and you enjoy this video, please drop me a like, comment, share it with someone who you think would like it, and subscribe even better. Let's talk a little bit about the trainer we've got in hand, the AirTech. It is a trainer that was released in 1990 when I was just a teenager, just about becoming a teenager. Just a model that I fell in love with all those years ago, and still to this day really love it as a silhouette. That's part of the reason why I've been so interested to buy all these pairs, because it's been a long time since I personally had these in hand, and they're just pretty magical. It's a time, obviously, you know, when you're at school and all that kind of good stuff. Andre Agassi was in his prime, I would say, and again, Nike were on this wave where they were just sort of fascinating as a company to watch. They were so innovative and kind of loud and in your face, and from us here in the UK, we were pretty blown away by all these kind of American sports stars with these amazing trainers, and Agassi was one of those. So as you can see from behind me, I have picked up the last two AirTech Challenge 2s. I wasn't able to get the Hot Lava pair. I didn't think they'd have sold out the way they did in the UK, but they're just too expensive, and it's not a colorway that I love. So I was able to pick up the Racer Pinks, which I have behind me there, and I was also able to pick up the Tart Stone Clay colorway as well recently. So I've had a few comments on the Tart pair from subscribers who've commented that actually they'll just pick them up later when they go into sale, and that's great if you've got the size of foot that allows you to do that. But here in the UK, when these pairs are releasing, the big sizes are pretty much flying off straight away, and I'm talking about US 13s, US 12s, so UK 11, UK 12s. So for all these pairs, I've had to be on it in order to get the pair that I want in the size at retail. And it was the same with this pair, which is why I'm buying them straight out the gate, because I don't want to have to wait and buy them on StockX. You can't return them if you don't like them. You can't check the quality control. It's just long, basically. So I've been snapping these up just to make sure I can get the pair that I want. And then it's easier to then return it or move it on later. It's the third pair that I bought, and I would say that it is my least favorite of the pairs released so far, although it is slightly different in that it is much whiter in general than the other two pairs. There are minor differences between these two pairs. Pretty much structurally they're the same, it's just the colorway. They both have an aged midsole, and I would say the aging of the midsole is pretty much the same on the Pixel pair as it is on the Tart pair. It might be slightly yellower on the Tart pair, you can see that there, and I'll put it in the B-roll so you can see it a bit more clearly. But the only other difference is that this front portion here is aged on the Pixel pair, whereas it's straight white on the Tart pair. And I don't know, but I would suspect that's probably because generally this is a whiter trainer. I think the kind of aged midsole along the whole length of the bottom kind of makes more sense. The colorway is, I would say, like a navy blue on the swoosh and on the Pixel area. You've also got on the lining of the tongue, and then the other color is kind of, I would say, crimson. On the box, this pair is described as white, royal, blue, laser, crimson. So I guess they're describing that blue as kind of a royal blue, and I suppose that makes sense. I would have called this more of a royal blue, but they know best, the team of designers, all that good stuff. And yeah, at the bottom, we've got that royal blue and that crimson. And I think this crimson here is a really nice color. I think that's one of the things I really like about the AirTech line and that era, the 90s. This is a really 90s trainer in terms of the bright color pops that you get, maybe in terms of contrast. So you have like a neon color alongside a more traditional color. So the blue alongside this kind of almost infrared, neon-y crimson color. And you can see that as a theme. It is interesting when you look closely that these pixels seem to be almost stuck on. I wonder if they would come off, I hope not. Another feature that is slightly different to the tart pair is the label on the tongue. On this one, it's sort of, on the Pixel pair, it's sort of faded from white to blue. And I'm not sure if that is exactly like the replica. I will point you to a couple of experts that I really enjoy watching videos. One is, I think it's Taking It Back with Forsyth 23. His channel is fantastic in terms of AirTechs. I think no one does it better on YouTube. So you might want to check out his videos because he will have the detail of that change. And the other person that I go to on Instagram is Sneaker Preservation Society. I think that page is fantastic as well. I think it's a 90s colorway, and as a 90s guy, that really appeals to me, that kind of loud, brash colors. And I would say that was kind of what Agassi was a little bit known for. And one of the other features that I really like about this trainer, and I've said this for every AirTech challenge that I've reviewed or even just bought, is just they've done such a good job with releasing this pair in terms of shape and materials. So these retail at £135, which I think in today's world is a pretty good price. I think it's fairly reasonable, it's not too expensive, it's not cheap. And loads of these pairs are going into sale as loads of people comment on my videos. And the other thing they've done really well is to remodel the toe box and the general shape of it. They've got it back to closer to the original than it ever really has been in terms of shape. And that's just one of the things that really appeals to me about this trainer. If you haven't already and you get the opportunity to watch my last video on these 95 SBs, it's very similar in terms of the way the trainer's been done. It just feels like there's a real attention to detail to some of these pairs, and that Nike, when it wants to, can really turn it on and make sure these pairs are made to a really good standard. And that's part of the reason I'm happy to buy these AirTechs as well, because they are being reproduced to a really high standard. And for people like me, like an OG trainer buyer who's been buying trainers since the 90s, since the late 80s, that's really what I want. I want it to look and feel like the care and kind of quality that used to be. And I know they use different materials and I understand that. I'm not looking for an exact one-to-one replica, but it does make me feel good when a pair that I love and sort of am emotionally a little bit invested in is done to a good standard. So the price is good, the quality is good. I love the aged midsole. I know a lot of people don't like that kind of feature, but I love it. So the 90s vibe is spot on. In terms of sizing, I would say stick true to size. I'm a true size UK 11 and that's what I bought here, and these fit me perfectly, the same as pretty much 99% of all my Nike trainers. I also buy Adidas in the size 11, I buy New Balance size 11, pretty much all brands. So yeah, stick true to size and you can't go wrong with this. It is nice to see the contrast between these pairs. When you get multiple pairs of the same silhouette in hand, it is interesting to see the changes. But you've basically got this kind of pixel section and it is just a different version of where you got the lava on the tart pair. So part of the reason why I'm so happy to snap these pairs up is because Nike seem to have a thing where they release retros maybe once every 10 years. So there was a massive burst of kind of AirTechs about 2016 and now it's 2025. So I don't know when these are going to release again, if in the next 10 years, if at all. They might start pumping out loads of other colorways. I just would really regret not having these trainers, even though they're not flying off the shelves. That doesn't make a difference to me because I know this is a trainer that I really want. I would rather have them in hand and just maybe a couple years down the line think, okay, the AirTech's been saturated, I can get rid of that pair. But I'm lucky enough to be in a position to be able to get these in hand and keep them for a bit. But we don't know whether they're going to release loads of AirTechs down the line or whether they're just going to release the retro pairs, the OG colorways, and then a couple other pairs. So at the moment, I'm just happy to pick them up because I think these are classic trainers. Let me know what your thoughts and feelings are on this particular colorway, the Pixel colorway. Is it a colorway that you like? I think if I was to rank the pairs that I have so far, I've only got 3 obviously. It's difficult to choose. I think it's difficult to choose between the tart pair and the racer pink pair because I do really remember the racer pink pair when I was younger and always wanting them. I think the tart pair kind of crept up and were better than I thought they would be. And this Pixel pair are clean. They're really clean. I don't know if it's a pair that I'll wear a little bit down the road once my racer pinks are worn out a bit. We'll see how it goes, but I'm happy to have them in hand because they're really good. I'm really hoping that this might be the start of a bit of a resurgence for the AirTech in general. So we've had the AirTech Challenge 2. Next up, hopefully, will be the AirTech Challenge 3. That was a pair I also had, and I really hope they do things like bring back the limited edition versions. I'll put a picture up, but again, it's from the Sneaker Preservation Society. I can remember being a teenager and going to visit my family in Brooklyn, and we stopped off at a Foot Locker, and I got a pair of those limited edition AirTech Challenge 3s, and when I came back to the UK, you couldn't get them over here. And those were kind of really exciting times when they were just, obviously you still get region exclusives now, but it was just less of an open marketplace in terms of seeing other trainers on foot. So the AirTech has so many special places in my heart. The Challenge 2 was one of my first pairs. The Challenge 3 when I was a bit older, just being a great pair. So hopefully they're retro, the 2, the 3, the 4, and I'd love to see the apparel as well. That would be fantastic. All right, next up on my channel, I'm going to be reviewing this pair of Waffle SPs. I've just got loads of videos to come out with, and I've been filming non-stop. So this will be the next video that I do because I'm really interested in the Waffle SPs, and I got the white pair and I got this pair to review. So if that's something you're interested in, subscribe to my channel. So thanks so much for watching as always. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on this pair, this Pixel pair. Where does it rank for you in the AirTech Challenge? Do you think they did a good job with this pair? Do you think they're too plain? I just think the AirTech Challenge is one of those trainers for the OGs. It's one of those pairs that aren't hyped up, but they're just amazing. So let me know your thoughts and feelings. Drop a comment down below, give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and subscribe even better. I'm trying to hit loads of subscribers for the summer. I've really enjoyed making videos. I've got time, it's all good. Thanks as always for watching. I will see you in the next one. Peace.